Hello, everybody. What is up? Welcome to the GG Show. I am your host, Erica, and every single Saturday at 10 p.m. EST, I host the GG Show. What we do is we go over the news from the week. That is gaming news, Web 2 and Web 3. We go over data, funding. We have a Web3 gem finder. We have lots of stuff packed in. The news is anything from what happened in this week with gaming. We have AI. We have a lot of different things, tech, devices. So, whatever I find interesting, hopefully you find interesting too. So, we'll go over some of those stories. But before we do, I wanted to just give a little bit of a shout out here to, there we go, to Gokstein. So, this show is not sponsored. However, it is it is thank you, powered by Gokstein. So under Gokstein, we have a lot of talented content creators. We have, look at all these shows, you guys. We've got everything. Crypto Deb does shenanigans. Josh does a show about nothing. Farmers Market, Coponomics, Unscripted, The Hotline. We even have Spill It Mental Health, which is so super important, you guys. This is such a really good show. The GG Show, of course, shameless plug, and Simply Chillin'. So we've got a lot of stuff going on at Gokstein, so you should definitely follow us. We do have a website. Let me bring that up, where we've got everything from the ticker here. We have news, Web3, blockchain. You can even learn about crypto. If you're new to crypto, this is a really, really good resource. So make sure to check that out, you guys. With that, yeah, the show is not sponsored. So anything that I mention or show or anything like that is because it fits in with the show. So with that, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the news. All right, amazing. There we go. So this is a big one. Everybody's talking about this. GTA, Grand Theft Auto 6, when is it going to launch? Like everybody has been, doing leaks and guessing, and there's a lot of secrecy around Grand Theft Auto 6 and when exactly it's going to launch. So, Rockstar, they didn't announce an exact launch date, but they did say that they are going to release a trailer sometime in December. So, December 2023, of course, not next year. Thank goodness. But next month is the 25th anniversary of Rockstar Games. I couldn't find the exact date when Rockstar started. So I don't think that anybody really knows the exact date. So we don't really have that. So it could be on that date, but we don't really know when it is. The next time that it may be announced is during the Game Awards. So this is a big Game Award show coming on December 7th. So some people are saying that possibly they will release the trailer on December 7th. Hopefully that's the case because that is just around the corner. But for now, we'll have to see. Nobody really knows what's going on, but we need some GTA 6 news. Everybody's excited. I'm excited, you're excited, grandma's excited, dog's excited, everybody is excited, right? Um, Speaking of award shows, we have the winners were announced for the Golden Joystick Awards. And if you have played it, it is no surprise that Baldur's Gate 3 took the Ultimate Game of the Year award. And check this out. They also have Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design, Best Game Community, Best Supporting Performer, PC Game of the Year. And so they really, really took the cake at the Golden Joystick Awards this year. There are some other award shows that are coming up. So it'll be interesting to see if they're just going to take the cake everywhere or who's going to be the game of the year at some of these other entities. So we'll have to wait and see for that. Um, all of these good games, and what's a good game without something to play it on? So IGN released this nice graphic for us. We've got Valve released their Steam Deck OLED version. So this is about a year after their original Steam Deck. So I just wanted to highlight this because the Steam Deck, I think, has been pretty good. You know, it's been like one of the number one sellers Valve has as far as on Steam. So the major difference between the regular Steam Deck, the one that they originally released, and this OLED is the OLED. So if you're not 100% sure what OLED is, it's the type of screen that it has. OLED compared to the screen that the normal one has, which is LCD. OLED is just a little bit more efficient and it doesn't have to have a white backlight. And so it does make the battery last a little bit longer, which is a plus. I actually watched a video where they were doing like a side by side, and the original one lasted for about 2.5 hours, and the new one lasted for about 3.5 hours. Also, more storage, a little bit of a bigger sticker price, but I just wanted to highlight that just because I don't have a Steam Deck, but I really want one. And so I'm kind of trying to debate if I just want to go with the regular one or the OLED. I think I'll go with the OLED just because more storage, it has better technology as far as the screen and the battery goes. So I think that's the one that I would go with. But you can check out IGN on that if you are interested. All right, now let's get into some Nintendo news. So, Nintendo released official news, and it is from Miyamoto. And basically, what they said is that they are going to be releasing a live action Legend of Zelda movie. So, what do you guys think about this? Like, Legend of Zelda is, you know, it's been around forever. I can't think of a Legend of Zelda movie, but surely not a live action film. So that is really, really exciting. That was an official announcement. And according to Miyamoto, he's been discussing this for about 10 years. I did read another source that said 13 years, but nonetheless, like they've been discussing this for a long, long time. He said that it is an extremely high hurdle in producing a film because they don't want to disappoint the global fan base. And so he said, with this challenge in mind, I've been discussing this project with Avi Arad, chairman of Arad Productions, for about 10 years. So I want to know like what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments. Speaking of comments, let me go over to YouTube. Bengal, thank you so much. Hi, Erica managed to stay awake to say hi. Well, hi. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You said before that it was about 3 a.m. your time, so a little bit of a night owl tonight, but I really appreciate you guys watching. Comments, you guys, by the way, if you want to go ahead and give a shout out, you can watch on Twitch or YouTube. I don't have it on X yet, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But anyway, go ahead and give me a shout out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Some other people, as far as this live action Zelda film goes, mixed feelings about it. This one says, "Yay, a Zelda movie! It's live action." Some other people were, you know, want to be hopeful, but I just don't think the Legend of Zelda will work in live action. These are some clips from some of the Zelda games, so it definitely doesn't fit in with, you know, it's always been a video game, like not live action. So I don't even care if it's live action. We will be seeing the Zelda movie. I am with you there. I really don't care. I'm going to see it regardless, and then I will judge. But you know, nonetheless, they are under a lot of pressure from Nintendo to make this good because they do not want to disappoint the fans, and that is where that is. There's no like official release date yet, so I think that they like just started. So we're probably not going to see anything for a while anyway. All right. And then going from that, we've got Super Mario Brothers Wonder is the fastest selling Mario game, and Nintendo expects it to keep on selling. I thought that was actually pretty amazing. They said they sold 4.3 million units within the first 2 weeks of going on sale. That was towards the end of October. I haven't actually played this one yet either. I know, like all of these games, and I haven't played them, but you know, got work to do, you guys. So eventually, someday, I'll be able to play all of these games that I'm talking about, which will be amazing. All right. So then there is that. Also hitting some records Fortnite, you guys, they released their back to their original season 1. They had its biggest day ever thanks to Fortnite OG, over 77 million players. That's insane, dude. That is so much. So, are they still at the top of the streaming charts? We will find out in the data section. That is the next segment. So, we'll get into a little bit more of that with Fortnite and see if they're still on top. And then there was this game, it's called The Finals. They had an open beta and 7.5 million players during the open beta. That is just absolutely crazy, you guys. 7.5 million, that is so big. So this game, what it is, it's a free to play first person shooter. So it's on multiple platforms, but it actually does look pretty good. So you guys can definitely check out more of that if you are interested, but I just wanted to highlight that, and yeah, because it looks really fun. It kinda reminds me of, um, another Web3 game that is coming up, it's called Citizen Conflict, so it kind of reminds me of that, and I have high hopes for that game as well, so we'll have to see. They're going to be doing some fixes on an iteration after this gigantic playtest. So there is that. All right, and then breaking into some Web3 news, let's transition from Web2 to Web3. Let's talk about the Simpsons episode. Everybody, I'm sure that you watched this. If you didn't, close your eyes, put on your earmuffs. It's a little bit of a spoiler alert. Everybody's like, "Okay, that's great." So, the art museum is closed forever. They're going to be digitizing all of the NFTs or all of the artwork into NFTs. Bart Simpson accidentally turns himself into an NFT with his little butt sticking out. He's valued at 1.5 million. Is that Ethereum? Is that Bitcoin? Is he an ordinal? What is he? We don't know, but he's an NFT. So, he kind of fits right in there. Is he on Solana? I don't know, you guys. It didn't say. But anyway, so they have to go through and they have to find out how to get Bart off of the blockchain. So Marge comes in and she just kicks everybody's butt, kills all of the NFTs in order to make herself more valuable. And I won't go through everything, but at the end, look at Homer. He is getting a pedicure from a board ape. so so they do have some references in there, which I think everybody, like, I was smiling along with it. I was like, okay, okay. There were some things that were a little bit questionable, but I think for the most part they did a really, really good job. And at the end, well, actually, I'm not going to spoil it too much, so you guys can watch the end if you want to. But definitely check that out if you've been in the NFT space for a while, or even if you haven't. It's The Simpsons, like it's iconic and classic, right? Can't really disappoint a whole lot there. All right, so then also in Board Ape news, last week we talked about Board Ape Yacht Fest, Board Ape Fest, yeah, that was in Hong Kong, and this is absolutely crazy. Okay, so what basically happened is people that attended Board Ape Yacht Fest, there was a stage, bright lights, performers, everything like that. Some of them woke up in Hong Kong, mind you. They're from the United States, some of them are. And they were like, they woke up, their eyes were burning, they couldn't see, had to go to the freaking emergency room. And what had happened, supposedly, allegedly, is that their lights that they used were UV lights, and so it kind of like burned their eyes. So, Board Ape Yacht Club released this statement about the vision issues, saying that it was like 1% of people and this and that. But yeah, not too good. I felt really bad at first when I heard that. I was like, oh my gosh, like people are blind. Like, can you imagine being in Hong Kong if you're not from there and having something like that happen? Like, that is actually really scary. So, yeah. So, that's what happened after after last week's show. We talked about Hong Kong and then this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just absolutely crazy. All right. So speaking of news from the East, Animoca Brands, which is absolutely everywhere lately, they are doing a collaboration, and actually they invested in and San Fran, Tokyo into cool cats. I Love this. Look at it. It's so freaking cute. I love the Cool Cats brand. I think this is a big W. And basically, what they're saying that they're going to do is they are going to do Cool Cats. Magna, they acquired a bunch of Cool Cats. They're doing brand expansion, and so we are going to see Cool Cats showing up in Japan. I am bullish on that. If you are going to NFT NYC, I believe that they are doing some Cool Cat events again. I was in NFT NYC about 2 years ago, and I got to go see the Cool Cats event that they had, and it was amazing. It was like being a kid again. Everything was so playful. It was interactive. They gamified it. You could go and like to each of the little parts, you could scan your little band, and then at the end of it, you could get some merch. And so, yeah, bullish on the Cool Cats brand. I don't have one, unfortunately, but I love to see this, and I cannot wait to see some of the stuff that they come out with in the East for Cool Cats. Okay. Speaking of things going on in the news, first of all, shout out to Elisa. She actually posted this. Look at 466,000 views. Holy crap. That is a lot. And the reason is because it is massive. She's right. It is freaking massive. So the CEO of Roblox, his name is David Basuki. He was on CNBC and they were asking him about Roblox and Robux and NFTs. Is Roblox ever going to put NFTs and possibly tokens? He didn't say tokens, but I think that's what he was alluding to. Will they ever put that into Roblox? And he didn't say like yes, but he also didn't say no. And so I think that they may entertain it. Here's a little bit about what he said. Okay, so there you have it. So he's not saying like, yes, we're going to put NFTs in like tomorrow, but he didn't say no. And so I think that they are probably just waiting for the right time. Of course, this is speculation, but we'll have to see. One thing though that I did find is so this is actually the co-founder and chairman COO of Axie Infinity, Ronin Network, and Sky Mavis. This is Alexander Leonard Larson. And so he's kind of a big deal, in regards to Sky Mavis and Axie Infinity and all of that. He said, not surprised at all to see this. David has been an investor in Sky Mavis since 2021. That's when a lot of us also got into NFTs. So we regularly update him and the rest of our investors on our plans for Ronin and Axie games with NFTs will be more immersive and engaging. It's inevitable. So he's basically saying like, yeah, like he's an investor. It's inevitable. So that is pretty bullish. Like he obviously talks to him, and so he can't like put words into his mouth. But I mean, that's what he said about it. And then Yatsu, I like to bring him up all the time. But he said Roblox has 200 million monthly active users and approximately 65 million daily active players. Sentiment is changing, right? And I think you could all agree to that. And the spillover due to shared network effect inherent in Web3 would have a massive impact to everyone in the NFT space, especially platforms like the Sandbox, Game Token, and others. So yeah, you guys. So you probably saw that clip, but you maybe didn't see the other two posts that were associated with it. And I think that's important to add a little bit of context from some of these big wigs in the NFT space. So there is that. Another thing from Roblox that I wanted to point out, which I found really, really interesting. So, Roblox report highlights Gen Z's sense of digital self expression. Look at this. Over half, 56% of Gen Z say styling their avatar is more important to them than their physical style. What do you think of that? Like, we are definitely living in a digital world. So, this report collected data from over 1,500 Roblox users between the ages of 14 and 26. So take with that what you will, but I know that there's a lot of like digital fashion brands. And if you are a digital fashion collector, this is definitely bullish news for you as this generation is definitely living online. So there is that. Let's see here. Also on CNBC, we had Robbie Ferguson. He is the co-founder of Immutable. He was on CNBC. I didn't see this catch um, as much steam as the Roblox, of course, but he was on CNBC. He was discussing the future of gaming, immutable NFTs. He basically said that it's bullish that you can own your assets. He thinks that a catalyst for bringing and onboarding more users is going to be, that game. We all talk about that game. That's going to be the catalyst. That is another thing he said. And he also said that some of the challenges for onboarding is definitely like onboarding and like the wallet issue that we all know and love so much. And so those are some of the things that he said, but definitely check that out. Immutable is really kicking butt lately. They also announced a partnership with Ubisoft. So that was from Andrew Soro. He's the VP of Biz Dev at Immutable. So they're really doing a lot of things. Let me look at my notes here and see what else I have from them. Oh yeah. So actually just about a month ago on 10/11, that's when they announced their partnership with AWS. So that was huge. They just announced that Alluvium is going to be live on Epic Games. So it is actually live on Epic Games. You can't like play it yet, but you can wishlist it. So I took a look at Epic Games and it said it's coming out on 11/28. And so that's when you'll be able to play. I think it's still kind of in like a demo mode. They're definitely still building, but nonetheless, they are opening up the gates for more people to play, which is definitely exciting. So that is a very highly anticipated game. So there is that. Let's get into some news about X. Oh, no, actually from Kieran. My bad. Kieran Warwick of Alluvium. He said, not sure if many realize, but we have 1.5 million who have registered over the past 3 years, and we've only given out access to 40K of those people. So all that changes this month, early access to everyone. So there you have it. Okay, now for some X news, just a little bit. Twitter is finally updating the algorithm to boost smaller accounts. So Elon said that we have been due for an algorithm change for I don't know how long. It has been all screwed up. Still, hopefully this fixes a lot of things, but especially if you have a smaller account, it'll help surface smaller accounts and posts outside of your friend follows network. So that is really good news. I'm hoping also that they release and make everything a little bit transparent. That's the other thing that people have been like begging for. So we'll have to see about that. If you do stream on X Live, they said, US We Listen chat is now available on desktop for live broadcast. Yeah. So I don't have that because I started to like I started to open it, but I have so many windows open that my computer was like kind of like starting to like chug along. So I was like, well, maybe for something like this, I shouldn't do it. But when I stream a game, it's a little bit less exhaustive because I don't have like 50,000 tabs and like 5 windows open. So I'll have to see about that. They also announced too, like if you guys are going to be streaming on live or putting out videos, I couldn't find the post, but I do remember seeing it that you can actually do timestamps on your posts, which thank you. Like that's amazing. So people can just jump ahead to wherever in the video. So you put like in parentheses, you put the time and then you can put the description. So I'll do that on this live recording and then that way you guys can kind of see what it looks like if you are interested. Speaking of streaming on X Live, Ninja was streaming today. He's a huge streamer. His post, although it had 12.1 million views, it said that his live stream had 1.7 million views. That's still quite a bit. I think, like, my last one maybe had, like, 800 or so, yeah. But Elon also shared this. So, Elon, I say it every stream, Elon, if you're watching, go ahead, feel free to share mine too. I mean, share the love, you know? I've been doing this I've actually been streaming on live since June of 2023. I've been doing this for a while. It hasn't been every week since June, but nonetheless, like, I am definitely on here. I'm streaming, like, come on, Elon, show me some love. All right. You guys tag Elon. Why not, right? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so there is that. And just a little bit of AI news. YouTube is testing a chatbot that will appear under selected videos. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see under this video. It's like, what do you want to ask? Choose something. Do you want to summarize the video? Do you want to have us tell you more about this topic? Recommend related content. Recommend related content. And so they are going to be testing that on some videos. I think that's actually kind of cool. But what I really like is the summarize the video. I mean, we do have AI. Like, if you do create any content, like, you can put your video into AI, it'll summarize it for you. It'll give you the talking points. Like, that's really nice. But it's actually really cool on the other side of things. Like, as a consumer of YouTube, a consumer of videos, like, you can just ask it to summarize it for you. How freaking cool is that? That's amazing. You're watching an hour-long video and you just wanna know the key points, like, you'll hopefully, they roll it out on all videos and you'll be able to do that. So, I freaking love that. That is a win. I love AI. All right. And then this is kind of cool. Xbox partners with in-world AI to build generative AI tools for game development. You can check out that article if you want. It just goes into a little bit about how they're going to introduce it to developers and a little bit about what you'll be able to make and expect. The good news is the future of any NPCs report found that 99% of gamers think that all advanced AI NPCs will improve gameplay. So here's that article that they linked. So it does say that there is positive sentiment towards NPCs. That game that I showed you guys the trailer earlier, though, like, one of the things that people hated on it for was the fact that some of the NPCs didn't use real voice actors. They had AI voices, and people were down on it. So that was kind of interesting to see that, and then to see this, that, people are perceptive. So it's like, you are okay with, like, NPCs being AI, but you don't want them to have AI voices. Like, I don't know. A little bit of mixed feelings, but that's the difference between, a report like this, and then polling, like, actual people on X. So they'll really tell you how they feel in the comment section. You know that. This startup is pretty interesting in world. They're one of the best funded startup in AI and games. They have raised, I think it's said in, like, August, they raised like 50 million, but they've raised a total over 120 million. Valuation now sits at $500 million. So here's their little video. They are definitely into NPCs. So so that's a little bit about what they're doing. So far, I mean, from watching that trailer, it actually looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm curious to see about what they're gonna do. But so that's with Xbox. So that's amazing. And then finally, last but definitely not least, a flying car. All right. So this is the first ever officially certified flying car, but only in Slovakia. Watch this though. I'll show a little bit of the footage of it flying. Doesn't that just look unreal? It looks like fake almost or something. I don't know. Like, maybe it's because we don't usually see cars just flying around every day. But what I wanna point out is, okay, so after it lands, check this out. This is badass. That is so freaking cool, dude. That was like I saw that and I was like, "Whoa." How the wings just, like, fold up and go in it, it's just a complete transformer. Yeah, holy crap. I love that. Alright, that is all that I have. Oh, the sound wasn't working? Oop, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, you're right, it was muted. My bad, my bad. But yeah, that is all that I have for the news. So with that, let's go ahead and get into some of the data. All right, let's drag this over here just like so. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is I want to give a little bit of a shout out, another shout out to somebody in the community, Eliza. She does amazing posts on data and analytics and just like pure facts. And so I want to give her a shout out because she is doing a lot of amazing things. She put together this thread on Q3 2023, the Global Gaming Report. So if you want to check that out, the topics covered are mergers and acquisitions. There were a total of 33 mergers and acquisitions, $5 billion. Most of them were in PC console segment. Private placements, over 1 billion raised in 185 deals during quarter three. So if you are really looking for more data and more facts like that and a Q3 global gaming report, definitely check her out. Give her a follow. She, of course, is part of Games GG, which I should have mentioned this in the award show part. I kind of forgot, but you are still able to vote. So you guys can vote for Back to the Awards Game 3, 19 categories, 50 plus industry leaders, 2 million in prizes. I didn't know that. I must have missed that earlier, but live stream the 14th of December. So we're counting down the days, but you can vote for your favorite games and your favorite creators. You guys don't forget to do that. The more people that vote, the more bullish it is and the funner it is to see who is going to take the cake during their award show. So yeah, so there is that. But definitely shout out to Eliza there. Okay, so last week with funding, we really didn't have anything. So the two this week, though, are Citadel and Cool Cats. So Cool Cats is back in it. So this is kind of what we were talking about before with Animoca Japan. It says that they got funding, but it doesn't say exactly how much. So that's a little bit unknown. At least I don't know anyway. But Cool Cats, they definitely have their branding here. So you can see all of that with their IP. So congrats to Cool Cats. Sorry, I don't have a dollar number for you, but they did get funded. And then Citadel. So Citadel is a decentralized Ethereum-based game platform where players explore a space-themed world, mine ore, and shape the game's rules and governance through community participation. So 3.3 million was raised by them. They actually, if you take a look at the article that they pinned, they go into kind of more of the story about Citadel. And, you know, they started in 2021, they quit their jobs. And so it kind of goes on their story. So take a look at that if you're interested. Also in their white paper, I don't know if this is gameplay. I'm assuming that it is. At least it's kind of like has like the general like look and feel of the game. So that's their white paper. I was just kind of scanning through that and just seeing like more about like what their game looks like. It's definitely a pixel game with ships. Like, look at that. It kind of reminds me of like Space Invader vibes, but evidently you can like mine and collect things. There is ship upgrades. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. So congrats to them and congrats to Cool Cats. And there is that. Let's get into some of the chart tappers. Okay, top. First, we'll do blockchain, then we'll get into a little bit of traditional, and then mobile, and then a little bit more blockchain. So, the top blockchain games: Sweat Economy, Gamify, and Motodex. That's for sports. In Metaverse, we've got Alien World, Pixels, and Upland. Strategy, we've got Karam Blitz, BLCR, and Nine Chronicles. Nine Chronicles is actually going mobile, so I was actually checking that out. It's they have been building their blockchain game for a really long time, and they're actually all on chain. So yeah, it's an easy game to play. It's kind of like an auto. I don't know how to say it. It's like you run from, like, one side to the other, and it's auto. It's not really like an auto battler, maybe it is, I don't know, but, nonetheless, like, it's a pretty easy game to play. Alright, so there's that, Play to Earn, Sweat Economy, Farmers World, and Trick Shot Blitz. In card games, we have Trick Shot Blitz again, BLCR, and Solitaire Blitz. Move to Earn, Sweat Economy at the top, Super Walk, and Geno Pets. They actually just released a, Geno Pets did, they released a new iteration of their app where they have a marketplace. So they're doing some really cool things. They've been building for a while as well. And then in RPGs, I don't know if I'd consider that an RPG. I'm not sure why that's categorized like that. But Sweat Economy again, Gamify, and Motodex. By the way, I should say that this is based on from the last 7 days of unique active wallets. So that's what these metrics are based on. In action, we have Stray Shot, Benji Bananas, and Battle Showdown by Ethless. And then GameFi, Farmers World, BLCR, and Untitled Platformer. And other, we have Pixels, Smart Cats on Polygon, and we have Treasure DAO. Okay, so now getting into some of the Steam top sellers with more of traditional games. We have Call of Duty is at the top. They took it from Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike was stealing it for like weeks since it came out, but now Call of Duty is on the top. I've heard mixed reviews about this game, and actually I read an article that said that people were leaving negative reviews on the old game, not the new game. So the publisher was like, you guys, and then PUBG Battlegrounds and Counter-Strike 2 got bumped down. Dang, harsh. Okay. But the most played by current players, let's do by daily players, actually. Okay, so we've got Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, and Wallpaper Engine hanging in there in the number 3rd spot. Like, since I started the show, and I never get it. I never get it. It's always a surprise. Okay, and then the weekly top sellers from this last week, Counter-Strike 2, Call of Duty, and Cyberpunk 2077 is still at the top of the charts. Streaming on YouTube, we have Roblox, Modern Warfare 3, and Fortnite is still hanging in there. People are loving that OG version. Top streaming games on Steam are Just Chatting in, aka Hot Tubs and Bikinis. We have Fortnite in number 2, League of Legends, and Grand Theft Auto 5. All right. Top apps. This is overall on the iPhone store worldwide. We have this one. I don't know what that is because it's worldwide, and sometimes it's just not in a language I can read. We have Fruit Merge, Watermelon Game, top grossing, Genshin Impact, Honor of Kings, and PUBG Mobile. Top apps on Google Play. Let's do this actually worldwide. Okay, so we have top 3 are Real Car Racing, 8 Ball Pool, and Subway Surfers. Top grossing Monopoly Go, Genshin Impact, and Royal Match. Monopoly Go, people love that game. It's always at the top. Game Tokens, Immutable X, the Sandbox, and Axie Infinity sliding in. And hot games on Ethereum, we've got So Rare, Sandbox, and Farmland by Pixels. We have on Polygon Ultimate Champions, Benji Bananas, and Sunflower Land. On BNB, we have Carve, Ultimate Champions, and Summoners Arena. And on our Arbitrum, we have The Beacon, Knights of the Ether, and Bridge World in the top. All right, this is on Polygon as of yesterday, actually. Sunflower Land, Jump.trade, and Smart Cats. Smart Cats, that was not on any of these top charts last week. So I actually haven't seen that. I am a little bit curious. Let's take a look really quick because this is like the first time that I've actually seen it pop up. I think it might be new. Is there going to be a link? Maybe not. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we'll have to take a look at that. I'll try to make a post about it if you guys follow me on X. Okay. And then on Avalanche yesterday at the top, we've got Monstera, Robots Farm, and Snail Trail Game. And then on Sue, we have Run Legends, Arcade Champions, and Bushi. That is the end of the data segment. Now you guys know who got funding and who is stealing the top of the charts. So with that, we'll go ahead and get into the next segment, which is the Web3 game discovery. So hang out for that. All right, awesome. So this is where we take my gigantic list of over 1,000 Web3 blockchain games. We pick 3 at random and we take a look at them and see if we can find a gem. So last week, I actually picked Overworld, Magicraft, and Oxna Origin. A little bit about them right there. And although not very many people voted, it was a split 50-50 or 40-40. Overall, the Magicraft tied. And this time, you guys, you better show up and vote. Let me know like who you think is the best game out of these randoms that we pick. So with that, let's get into it. The first one from the top of the list is Captain and Company. Number 2, let's go a little bit further down, and that's going to be Crypto Jesse. Is that a game? Serial Entrepreneur. I don't know how he got into my I don't think that's a game, you guys. Hold on. Let's pick a different one. Let's go to the next one in the list. That is Polka Pets. All right. There we go. And then the third one, random. Let's go in the middle. Defiance. Okay. So Captain and Company. I know that they are still building because actually I've seen Jonah post about these guys, but let's take a look as if we have never heard of them. Captain and Company find fortune, foes, and friends for life. Let's take a look at their website here. Real piracy, real risk, real reward. So you can sign up for early access. Let's look at their trailer and see what that entails. Whoa, that was intense. 128 people. That is pretty crazy. So, what does this mean? Real risk, real reward. Your ship is just as fragile as being sunk, comes with real consequences. Buckle up, pirate. This isn't a battle for the faint of heart. Are you captain or company? It looks actually pretty cool. I really like their ships. Find a crew. All right, so there's a little bit about that. Definitely sign up for early access if you want it. Let's see what else that they've been posting. It looks like they've been hosting Twitter Spaces very, very recently. So they're doing some of that stuff, releasing some graphics, it looks like AMA. Oh, no, that's just the graphics for the space. And there's Jonah. He's posting about it. Like I said, I've saw that before. And the third web community have another thing we are announcing with them next week. Okay, so there's the first game in the list. We've got Captain and Company. So that'll be the first one to vote for. Make sure that if you are with Captain Company, you have your community show up, you guys. And even if you're not, you guys need to vote in this. Let's find those gems. And then we've got Polka Pets, a series of NFTs created in partnership with Polkadot projects. So let's take a look at their website here. Polygon Pets. Okay. Unique NFT concept. What's your favorite? Meet the pets. I don't see a whole lot about it. Like, what is the gameplay? Okay, here's this. The place in the sandbox where pets meet for events like treasure hunt, where players complete quests for partner and pets. It's having a little bit of trouble. So is it in the sandbox? Looks like it might. So far, it just looks like a guy running around running around in the sandbox. So let's see what they've got on their X page. Polygon Guilds on October 31st. Is Halloween spooky like the bear market or a sweet treat like the bull? Builders never get scared. Happy Halloween. All right, so they've got some recent posts on there. So they are still building with Polkadot, it looks like. So I'm not 100% sure if it's just that sandbox game or if they have other things going on. That's funny, Sebastian. Sebastian, I think he's like the CEO of the sandbox. So it's just kind of funny to see that doing his little dance. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like they've got a couple things on their roadmap. Launch of the Polygon Pets collection, partnership with major mobile games provider, launch of the Pets Rift metaverse game, okay, in the sandbox, pending approval, and the sandbox game maker. All right, so it looks like they are going to be in the sandbox. Okay, so that is number 2. We've got Polka Pet World. Let's go to the top. There we go. And then the third one is Defiance. We are Defiance, a fantasy PvP strategy card game. Try it out, late beta stage, join Discord. All right, let's take a look at their website and see. By the way, you guys, I know that for sure, like this Captain and Company, Polka Pets, they're like on the sandbox and everything. But I just want to say, like, even with that, definitely you need to like do your own diligence. Especially because we are getting into more of like a bull market. There's going to be scammers are obviously rampant, especially with games. If you get a DM and they're like, hey, we want to work with you, we're going to pay you an absurd amount of money, go to this link and blah, 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 blah. Be very, very, very weary. Feel free to DM me because a lot of like what I do and what my circle does is we run everything by each other. Like, is this legit? Have you heard of them? And so if you ever have any questions about anything, definitely like DM me. But nonetheless, like DYOR, be very weary of things coming up. So especially with the bull run, it's crazy out there. But nonetheless, so we have Defiance here. Welcome to Defiance. Build your army, outwit your opponents, and dominate the battlefield. Click anywhere to continue. What is this? It's a little hand. Generate your free deck. Pick a faction to learn more. Who will you fight for? The Celestials, the Imperials, or the Infernals? So you can actually generate your deck, right? Like, am I actually playing right now? Okay, no. It's just learning a little bit about them. I like the graphics. The graphics actually look really nice. There's a lot of TCGs in Web3, but let's see if we can generate the deck. Okay. I think it's like actually like just going right into playing. So that's one thing that is really nice about games that are in the browser is you can just start playing them. You don't have to worry about downloading anything, which is pretty nice. Defiance. Wow. Okay. So you can actually just like play right here. Okay. So that is interesting. We've got the deck builder. That's what some of the cards look like. Energizer. All right, so that actually looks pretty cool. In order to not lose your progress, please sign up. It takes just a few clicks. Okay, so they might be building. They're coming soon. It does say that they are in late beta stage. So let's see some recent stuff that they have posted. You can play without registering in a first place. Save your progress. Okay, we already went over that. They've been doing some bug fixes and optimizations and new content. Patch notes as recently as 10.11. Okay, so they are definitely relevant. They are active. They are building epic cards in Defiance. There are only 500 copies in the entire game. A little bit of FOMO there. All right, so then, yeah, third, we've got Defiance. So I will put together a thread for you guys where you can vote for who you think wins this week's gem. Is it going to be Defiance, Polka Pets World, and or Captain and Company? Oh, Boneyard Gaming, they sent a chat in. Sorry about that. It said would be 10-cent on top apps. Would be 10-cent on top apps. Yes. I'm trying to think of like what that was. I think that was in the data part. So sorry that I missed you. My apologies about that. All right, you guys, that is the show for today. We went over the news, we went over the data, we went over the gem finder discovery. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really, really appreciate you. With that, I will, of course, be back next Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any gaming tips, any like news that you're like, oh, this needs to be in the show, any games that you think I should put on my list, and especially like any gaming events, I am doing a calendar where I have all of the gaming events listed, just so that way it's in like, it's, you know, it's an aggregator. It's all in one place. And so I think that'll be kind of nice for everybody. So that'll be coming up in December. So look forward to that. And otherwise, I hope that you guys all have a really good rest of your night. Thank you for watching. And if you're rewatching, thank you for rewatching. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great night, you guys. Talk to you later.